Jada thought the danger was behind her. But danger has a way of waiting in the shadows, watching. That night, William saw them too. Two men who didn't belong, their eyes following her every move. He should have walked away. Instead, he made a choice that would change both their lives forever. Hello, story lovers. You've entered Fablethorn, where love hides behind every shadow, and every whisper tells a story waiting to be heard. Before we dive in, hit subscribe, like the video, and let us know where you're watching from. Your story might just be the next one we tell. William leaned forward, hanging on to Jada's every word. She spoke about her little brother's dream of becoming a teacher, her mother's tired hands, her own wish for a life where fear didn't walk beside her. He smiled, charmed by her honesty. But his smile faded when, through the glass window, he caught sight of the men pretending to smoke. They weren't laughing. They weren't joking. Their eyes were fixed on Jada. William's gut tightened. Something wasn't right. Jada laughed softly as William listened to her dreams over melting scoops of vanilla ice cream. For a brief moment, she forgot the fear, forgot the shadows. Across the table, William found himself staring, not just at her words, but at the light in her eyes. But outside, across the street, the shadows hadn't left. Two men leaned by the lamppost, their eyes fixed on Jada, pretending to smoke, pretending not to care. She didn't notice them. Not yet. But William, he did. And in that moment, he knew. Whatever danger followed her, he wasn't about to let her face it alone. The drive back to Jada's house was quiet. She sat hugging her bag tightly, her curls falling across her face. William wanted to ask. He wanted to know why two men would be following her. But he stayed silent. When they reached her house, Jada gave him a soft smile. "Thank you. For today," she whispered. Then she slipped inside the doorway. William watched until the porch light went dark. But the image of those two men, still standing under the street lamp, burned in his mind. 2 nights later, it happened. Jada was walking home from the market when the shadows stepped into her path. The same men. Their smiles weren't friendly. "You think you can ignore us, Jada?" one sneered. "Your father's debt doesn't disappear just because he's gone." Jada's breath caught. She clutched her basket tighter. "Please," she whispered. "I told you, I don't have it yet. I'm trying." But they moved closer. One reached for her arm, and that's when headlights cut across the street. A car door slammed. William's voice rang out, firm and sharp. "Is there a problem here?" The men froze. They hadn't expected him. Jada's eyes widened as William stepped to her side. His jaw was tight, his stance protective. The taller man smirked. "This isn't your business, rich boy." William's gaze didn't falter. "It is now." For a tense moment, no one moved. Then, with a curse, the men stepped back into the shadows. "This isn't over, Jada," one hissed before they vanished into the night. William turned to her. Who were they? Jada shook her head, her eyes shimmering. "Please, just take me home." He wanted to push for answers, but the look on her face, the mix of fear and shame, stopped him. He only nodded. And as they drove off into the night, one thought haunted them both. The shadows weren't gone. They were only waiting. She thought she could outrun the past. But the past was just getting started. The question is, how far will William go to protect her? And how much is Jada willing to reveal before it's too late? Jada thought the danger had passed, but the shadows weren't gone. They were waiting, watching, tightening their grip. And when the night came, she would learn just how far William was willing to go. 2 nights later, the streets around Jada's home were unusually quiet. Her mother had already gone to bed, and her younger brother slept soundly beside the faint glow of a kerosene lamp. Jada stepped outside to hang a few damp clothes on the line, the night air heavy with the scent of sea salt and rain. She was halfway through pinning a shirt when she felt it, the prickling sensation of being watched. Slowly, she turned. 2 men stood just beyond the fence, their shadows long and menacing under the dim streetlight. The same men from before. The moneylenders had grown tired of waiting. Her heart leapt into her throat. Fear flooded her veins. "What do you want from me?" she whispered, her voice trembling. One of them stepped forward, his smile cold. "Your father's debt doesn't disappear just because he's 6 feet under. You and your family owe us." "I've been paying," Jada's voice cracked, her fists clenching. "Every paycheck, I give you something. I don't have more." The taller man sneered. "It's not enough. Maybe we take something else, eh?" His eyes lingered on her in a way that made her skin crawl. Before she could retreat inside, headlights cut through the night. A sleek car pulled up abruptly, gravel crunching beneath its tires. The driver's door flew open, and William stepped out. "Leave her alone." He stormed forward, his voice sharp as steel. "This ends tonight." His voice was sharp, commanding. The men froze for a moment, then laughed mockingly. "And who are you supposed to be? Her knight in shining armor?" William's blue eyes narrowed, his jaw set like stone. He stepped closer, placing himself firmly between Jada and the men. "I don't care what you think you're owed. You're not going to threaten her again." The shorter man spat on the ground, smirking. "This isn't your fight, boss man. Best you drive back to your fancy hotel before things get messy." The men laughed, but William didn't flinch. He pulled out his phone, showing them a recording. Every threat, every demand he had secretly captured the last time they followed Jada. "I've sent copies to the police," he said coldly. "You lay a hand on her again, and you won't just lose your money, you'll lose your freedom." Jada's pulse hammered in her ears. She wanted to scream for him to leave, to not put himself in danger, but her voice wouldn't come. The color drained from their faces. The 2 men exchanged looks, their bravado faltering just slightly under his unshaken calm. One muttered a curse. After a tense pause, the taller one muttered, "This isn't over." They turned, then with reluctant steps, disappearing into the shadows with threats still lingering in the air. Silence settled. Inside, Jada collapsed onto the couch, her body trembling. William rushed to her side, kneeling before her. "Are you hurt?" he asked. She shook her head, tears spilling down her cheeks. "Why? Why would you do this? You could have been hurt." William's eyes softened. "Because, Jada, from the moment I met you, I couldn't walk away. Not from your strength, not from your kindness, not from you." Her lips parted, but no words came. For so long, she had carried her pain in silence, believing no one would ever stand with her. Yet here he was. For the first time in years, Jada felt safe. And she realized safety wasn't the absence of danger. It was being with someone who would never let her face it alone. In the days that followed, William made sure Jada was never alone. He handled the police reports. He sat with her brother, making him laugh when fear lingered in his young eyes. Neighbors whispered about the rich man who kept visiting the maid. But William didn't care. He wasn't there for appearances. He was there for her. And slowly, the shadows began to fade. Jada found herself smiling again. The sound of her laughter, once silenced by fear, returned like music to her small home. One evening, William took her to the ocean, the very balcony where he once sat alone, staring at his untouched glass of wine. The waves glowed silver under the moonlight. Jada stood beside him, the wind teasing her curls. He turned to her, his voice unsteady for the first time. "Jada, I don't want to rescue you. I don't want to be just a chapter in your story. I want to walk beside you, to build something real, something free of shadows. Will you marry me?" Her heart stopped. The man who had once been a stranger, a guest in the hotel where she cleaned rooms, was now offering her the one thing she had never dared to dream of: forever. Tears blurred her vision. She nodded, her voice breaking. "Yes. Yes, William." And for the first time, she wasn't afraid of tomorrow. And so, the shadows that once haunted Jada's life were finally gone. What remained was love, unexpected, undeniable, and unbreakable. The sun was setting over the quiet street when Jada stepped out of the car. Her hands trembled slightly, not from fear this time, but relief. She looked back at William, his eyes soft, steady. The same eyes that had seen her at her lowest, and stayed anyway. Her mother stood in the doorway, tears in her eyes, whispering a silent prayer of gratitude. For the first time in a long time, there was peace, real, lasting peace. The moneylender was gone, the threats were over, and the weight she'd carried for so long finally lifted. William took her hand, his voice breaking as he said, "You don't have to fight alone anymore, Jada. Let me be the one who stands beside you, forever." Her heart swelled, not because of the words, but because she believed them. And there, beneath the golden sky, Jada said yes, not just to love, but to a future free from fear, built on grace and hope. Inside the little house, her mother hummed a familiar hymn. The scent of Sunday dinner filled the air, mingling with laughter that had been missing for far too long. Jada smiled, whispering, "God, you brought me through the fire, but you didn't let it burn me." Instead of your shame, you will receive a double portion. And instead of disgrace, you will rejoice in your inheritance. Isaiah 61:7. And as night settled over the town, Jada knew. This wasn't the end of her story. It was the beginning of her peace. Another story, another journey of love, hope, and redemption. If Jada's story touched your heart, give this video a thumbs up and tell us in the comments where in the world you're watching from. Your words keep these stories alive. And if you believe in second chances and unexpected love, make sure you subscribe to Fablethorn so you never miss the next chapter. See you then.